So you want to build a rally car. It's understandable. Look at all these people flying through the woods and sliding around and having a good time. However, rally is one of the most dangerous and gnarliest motorsports disciplines in the world, so it's not quite as simple as buying some parts and slapping them on your car. There's a whole process for building a rally car. Today we're going to talk to Taylor.
Alright, my name's Taylor.
Now if this car seems familiar, it's probably because you watched our last video where we took it to McDonald's, but today we're taking a bit more of a serious spin, and Taylor's going to give us the ins and outs of what it takes to build a rally car on your own and what kind of money you should expect to spend, and most of all, he's going to give his best advice for those looking to get into rally.
It is a horrible idea to build your own rally car. Alright, my name's Taylor and this is my 2004 WRX rally car, and this started as, it was actually the first car I ever bought. It was a street car, 100% stock, and then I just slowly modified it with bushings and stuff because that seemed important, and then I went to a JDM 6-speed STI transmission with super close gearing, and it made it really come alive. This is a 04 WRX, so it has a 2-liter. So pretty gutless with the stock long gearing the US got on the WRX. So the 6-speed really made it feel like a car because it's made to mate with a 2-liter. And once that happened, the gear started turning for race car. I thought about doing a track car. And then once I built this house and had the garage, I'd always been interested in rally and motorsports since I was a kid. And I bought this car because I was interested in rally. So there's always been a piece of my mind that said, I want to build a rally car and drive it. But it's not easy to build a stage rally car. Most people would say, almost everyone will say to buy your first car, do not build it. And it is a horrible idea to build your own rally car the first time. You should buy a rally car because you will probably crash it. And you're gonna spend twice as much building your own. I chose to build my own because, one, I love fabricating and building cars, but also I wanted to know how every piece of it went together. And so luckily I had happened to choose really good parts when I built the car as a street car that all were very useful in a rally car, or at least a kind of production rally car like this one is. So it has all stiffened group in bushings, which is like the production class from the old, they ran like WRC in around the world, like FIA class. And so all stiffened mounts and bushings, it has strong STI transmission, and that's pretty much all of a rally car is just stock stuff, except for suspension and safety. So it has some crazy DMS suspension on it, and with really soft springs. You want really strong dampers with soft springs for rally so you get good weight transfer, and that's how you control the whole car. It's all turning with weight transfer and throttle. And then the rest of it's just safety equipment. Seats and roll cage and underbody protection. And so I built the roll cage myself. I learned how to weld in high school, but I'm not a welder. I'm a carpenter. I build stairs. But putting together a roll cage isn't that different from finished carpentry in that everything has to be really precise and exact. But I knew I wasn't going to be able to bend the tubes and stuff myself. And then so I found out that there's kits available from Broken Motorsports in New Jersey makes a really good kit, and that's what I used. And they're a small time rally company, and it all comes pre-bent, and you still have to fit and notch the whole thing though. So I did that all by hand, and it was really labor intensive. But the roll cages are really strict on rally cars. You have to follow FIA specs for every stage rally car, and then you have to have an official inspect it, and then you will get a logbook. This little book is what makes this car worth $20,000 or $30,000 instead of like $5,000. Without this, you can't enter any rally in the US. And then every time you enter an event, when you go through tech, They fill it out and look over the car and they say whether it's okay to run or not. And then if you crash, it has to be recorded in here and it has to be signed off on before you can enter it in the next rally. So when you go through tech the next time, they will see that something happened to the car and they will look at it and say, okay, yeah, everything looks good and you can run. So yeah, this is the magic of a stage rally car, is having a compliant cage. So a recent rule in the American Rally Association, which is the main organization for stage rally in America, we now have to run fire suppression systems. So that's a minimum 4-liter bottle that's plumbed to the driver and co-driver, and well, I think it's only required for driver and co-driver, but it's smart to run those also into the engine bay. Pointed toward your flammable stuff, like your power steering and turbo oil lines and things like that, and to help you get out of the car if there's a fire. It usually won't actually put out the fire, but we are required to run those now. Some other interesting things that are exclusive to rally cars are wheel scrapers on the rear wheels. You have to fabricate these little scrapers with plastic HDPE on them, and those have tight tolerances to the rear wheels because they will fill up with dirt and mud and be super unbalanced, and they will actually grind down your brake calipers a lot of times, and until there's nothing left and you're leaking fluid out of them. So those are super important. A lot of people think they don't need them, and then they find out the hard way pretty soon. So pretty much every rally car has those, and along with underbody protection along the whole car, because the gravel will just eat through everything, and a 1/4-inch aluminum skid plate in the front and rear diff cover in the back, because a lot of times there's rocks the size of, like, people call them baby heads, and if you can hit one of those, or you go slide off the road and hit a big stump, go straight through your oil pan or your transmission or diff, and you'll be done. And cost you a lot of money. So good skid plates are a must for rally for sure. And because these are legal street cars, you have to have catalytic converters. There's no rule on where that catalytic converter has to be within the exhaust. So like on turbo cars, they're usually on the exhaust tip. These are street legal, registered and insured cars that drive on the road in between the rally stages, so it does all have to be street legal. So to put it in perspective, if you were to choose to build your own car, you're gonna probably spend twice what it would to just buy one. Although a lot of times when you buy one, you have to put a lot of money into fixing someone else's mistakes. But then if you build one, you also have to make the right decisions to not build a piece of crap too. So it's kind of a lot of research, but this car cost me about $30,000 to build estimated. I kind of stopped keeping track after 15 because it got really scary. You can expect to spend about between $3,000 and $5,000 for the cage, for good suspension, minimum $4,000. For real rally suspension, a lot of people, when they build a car, will go with stock struts with upgraded springs, and those will actually are better than cheap coilovers, but you just have to have backups, because you could bend them on the first loop of the rally just because they're not very strong. The ears that go onto the knuckles will just bend if you hit a rock or something. All the prices kind of depend on the platform. A turbo Subaru is a horrible option. They're really expensive to start. Everyone thinks you should have a turbo rally car because it's cool, but most people really run NA cars. The only reason I built this car is because I already had it and it had been really reliable as a street car. If I didn't already have this car and decided to build another one, I definitely would have went with an NA Subaru. They're a lot cheaper and easier to work on and a lot cheaper to build and maintain. But it depends on the platform. A way better way to start is front wheel drive. If you were to buy a nice front wheel drive used rally car, like a first gen Focus or even like a base model Fiesta, you can get them sometimes, or a Mark II Golf. You can get those sometimes you can get deals where they just need a little bit of work for about $7 or $8 grand. but I would say on average between 10 and 15 for a turnkey rally car is what you're gonna spend. If you're looking for a turbo car, it's gonna be close between 15 and 30,000 for a pre-built one. That's like really nice. You can get one that's a little rough between 10 and 15, but you don't really want a rough turbo car because you're just gonna end up spending 3 times the cost trying to keep it running. A lot of times, if you're looking to buy a stage rally car, you can find people that got in it and quickly realized how much it cost and got out of it, and you can find a nice package deal where someone's just trying to get rid of everything, and it'll come with the car, trailer, and a full spares package. Because in stage rally, you're constantly, I mean, depends if you hit stuff, but it's not uncommon you have to have spares ready with bending control arms, and at least on Subarus, you have rear lateral links and trailing arms and spare axles and basically spares for the whole car. As many spares as you can afford. You know, factory teams have all the body pieces and stuff too, and spare engines, but having a good spares package and extra wheels and tires is really important for a stage rally car. If I didn't have a Subaru and any Subaru knowledge, what car would I pick to start in stage rally? A base model Fiesta for sure. It's a great rally platform. You can get all the import parts for them. They have great rally support and they're really cheap to run. Two-wheel drive is always going to be cheaper because you have 2 powered wheels instead of 4, and it's a small light car, short wheelbase, easy to learn on. Basically just keep it wide open and trail brake the whole time, and it's great to learn, and slow car fast is a lot more fun than fast car slow. Yeah, if you're interested in finding a used rally car to buy, it's pretty much all on Facebook these days. So North American Rally for Sale by Trade Group, that's where they're all pretty much listed. Occasionally you can find one and bring a trailer and stuff, but those are usually more like historic builds and stuff like that, so that's not really the best option if you're looking to actually get into rally.
Thank you so much for tuning into another MotorBiscuit video. My name is Braden. This is Taylor. Thanks again for taking me to McDonald's in the old rally car. Probably the best McDonald's trip I'll ever have in my life. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit like and check us out on Instagram at MotorBiscuit Official and Twitter at Biscuit Motor for more. And you can check out all kinds of automotive content on our website at motorbiscuit.com. But for now, I will see you in the next video.